Good evening, Tallahassee. I'm student meteorologist Nicholas Porcelli, and I'm welcoming you to another edition of FSU Weather on Thursday. So starting off with a live look at Doak Campbell Stadium, we got some haziness, mostly due to some wildfires and forest fires, prescribed burns out in Apalachicola. But currently it's 75 degrees and partly cloudy and some wind from the south at 10 miles per hour, which is advecting some of that smoke towards our area here in Tallahassee. As for our current radar, that radar kind of shows that scattering of the smoke, and you can actually see that sea breeze in the radar. And as for tonight in Tallahassee, it's going to be 57 degrees and partly cloudy, and a slight wind from the south-southwest. And then tomorrow it's 70 degrees, and there will be some thunderstorms and some breeziness at 12 miles per hour. As for today's headlines, we got rainy and stormy weekend ahead. Late season snow hits the northern U.S., and who could be the bird of the week this week? All that and more on FSU Weather.
Happy Thursday. I'm student meteorologist Elizabeth Temple.
And I'm student meteorologist Josh Malay. So Elizabeth, how was your spring break?
It was really good. It was very restful. I was sick for a part of it though. Could have been sick, or it could have been the pollen, which, oh my gosh. I don't know if it's making you sick, but it's been unbearable.
Oh, trust me, I usually don't get affected by allergies as much as I used to when I was younger, but the pollen's really getting to me. Like, I've been sneezing all day today. I've even seen a bunch of my friends also sneeze and be affected by the pollen as well.
Yeah, well, thankfully, we'll be tracking some rain that's moving in this weekend that should wash some of the pollen out for this weekend. And Nico's here on the wall to tell us more about that.
Yeah, it seems like this spring has been really a lot more pollen than what I'm used to for Tallahassee. I see it all over the cars, on all the little surfaces outside. It's really unprecedented from what I've seen the last couple of years. And as for a live look at Doak right now, I don't know how the sunset's going to look tonight with all this haziness and smoke tonight, but you can expect a pretty nice, fair weather at 75 degrees and slightly breezy from the south at 10 miles per hour. As for the current temperatures, most of the region looking pretty fair. Monticello is at 78, a little bit closer down to the coast, a little bit cooler with that sea breeze at 66, 73 at Crawford, and 73 in Sumatra. As for current dew points, it's going to be relatively fair, really fair, not too dry and not too moist right now, with Tallahassee at a dew point of 42. Monticello is a little bit higher up, and 49, and down by the coast a little bit higher up in the 50s. As for the temperature almanac, today is actually pretty much around average, just slightly above average for high temperatures at 81 and slightly below for our low at 40, and definitely nowhere near our cold record of 26 back in 1971. And thankfully it wasn't as warm as in 2006, where we had a high of 91. As for our local radar, most of that is just backscatter, mostly due to that smoke from our southern forests in Apalachicola. You can actually see right here some of that, you can see a fire. That's all from a fire here in Apalachicola. And then you can see that sea breeze kind of move its way up. That's the sea breeze front pushing all that particulate and smoke up towards Tallahassee. As for our future radar, there will be storms coming mostly from the Gulf regions, and then kind of initializing all over the Panhandle and southern Georgia and Alabama. And there is we are under a marginal by the Storm Prediction Center, so there is a chance of some severe weather tomorrow, although it seems like there won't be as much instability to produce widespread thunderstorms, so it's mostly going to be scattered. As for tonight in Tallahassee, we got a temperature of 57, and winds will pick up as that warm front starts to push its way through, and we're going to have winds from the south at 12 miles per hour. And for tonight's forecast, it's going to be mainly with cloudy skies. Is going to remain mainly pretty warm, with temperatures in the upper 50s and lower 60s for most of the Big Bend region here in Tallahassee. And for tomorrow's forecast, under those cloudy conditions, again, temperature, it won't be able to get warm enough due to that cloud cover, so it's going to stay mostly in the 70s and 60s for most of the region, and it's going to rain for most of the day tomorrow as well. And for our Friday planner, again, expect rain and temperatures to remain in the upper 50s and 60s. And for the week ahead, rain will start to subside by Saturday, and late into Sunday we should have nice conditions and then warmer temperatures up in the 80s by later next week when rain will come back. So how's it going to look for the rest of Florida?
Yeah, unfortunately, the rest of Florida is going to be seeing this rain as the system does move into the area. But right now, nothing to be concerned about as far as rain goes. Those clouds are starting to come into Panama City Beach right now, but the rest of the state, I'm not sure what's going on with the Orlando camera there, but it still looks beautiful nonetheless. And the temperatures are very nice as well. We're sitting in the mid to upper 70s, even some places in the low 80s. We do have 80 in Tampa right now, and it is starting to cool off as you head into Pensacola, where it is 65 right now. And this moisture, although we are sitting dry right now, when we see that rain move into the area starting late tonight into tomorrow morning, we'll see our dew points are going to start to increase, and we'll see some of our dew points hit into the 70s. In the Keys, we saw that high dew point on Saturday at 73. So it will feel a bit muggy as we see that rain move through the rest of the area. So the current radar, no rain to discuss as far as the state goes. We do have a few spotty showers along the southwest coast, but this is the system that we are going to be watching right now, and it is currently over western Louisiana right now in the strong, some more stronger pockets of rain over New Orleans right now. And so we do have a lot of moisture with this system. We do have this dry pocket here, but lots of moist cloud tops, especially in these two bright blue spaces right here. That's going to be helping us bring a lot of rain, especially into South Florida. So for today, we did have a non-severe thunderstorm risk for this green shaded region of Florida, but then when we head into tomorrow, we do have a marginal, which is a 1 out of 5 risk for just about Panama City west into Pensacola and in the southern tip of the state as well. And then we'll be able to move that threat even farther south on Saturday with a non-severe threat remaining for the western part or the eastern part of the state. Excuse me. So the main portions of the state that we'll be seeing a lot of rain will be in the southern portion of the state here, where the south West Florida could see up to 5, even 7 inches of rain with the system. So of course, there will be concerns for some flooding. So the rain will persist Friday into Saturday, but a beautiful day on Sunday in Miami to enjoy those beaches as well. The rain will move through Tampa as well on Friday and Saturday. Another beautiful day on Sunday there. In Orlando, your theme park day may have to wait until the end of the weekend on Sunday, high of 73, so very nice outside there. Same story in Jacksonville. It'll be very cool on Sunday, a high of 65 there when that rain moves through. And the rain will be out of Pensacola sooner than the rest of the state, high of 71 on Saturday and high of 70 on Sunday. So for the night tonight, we'll see our low temperatures in the mid to upper 60s as we see that rain start to move through the area. 58 tonight in Pensacola. And for tomorrow, it'll be a little bit of a cooler day in the mid to upper 70s, 72 in Tampa, 72 in Fort Myers as well. And so, but it'll be a very rainy day, so not a very nice day to be outside, at least if you are anywhere in the state of Florida. Josh, is the rest of the Southeast going to get this rain?
Actually, they will, but unlike Florida, they're not going to get as much severely tomorrow, but they will get it for sure Saturday going into Sunday. But as you look over the rest of the Southeast right now, we're just seeing beautiful temperatures in the 70s. Miami looking absolutely gorgeous. Clemson, as they always say, beautiful skies, ugly stadium. But funny enough, it is looking also gorgeous in Tampa and Atlanta. So as you see across the region, we're mainly hanging around the mid to upper 70s. Some cool spots will be 67 at Nashville, and then also 64 at Little Rock. But nonetheless, looking very nice, although we do have some rain in New Orleans, as Elizabeth pointed out earlier. So as you see, it's going to get drier in the northern part of our region, but as we move our way into tomorrow, we're going to have a lot of moisture that's being fueled by that's going to fuel our storms that we're going to see tomorrow in the Florida Peninsula. And eventually going into Saturday, that moisture will also help to fuel some of the storms we'll see going into the rest of the southeast. Mainly Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina are going to feel that as that low travels across. So as you see, we have the system right over here that's going to be our main rainmaker, and that's working its way into New Orleans from the southwest. So if you're in New Orleans right now, just make sure to keep an eye out on the rain because you are below sea level. But as of right now, it's not causing too much concern. Although we will see that tomorrow, it will be a bigger concern. So going into Lake Charles region, into Houston, and also going up towards Dallas, but not quite hitting Dallas, they're under marginal. Although that marginal risk shifts into including New Orleans, Pensacola, Mobile, Tallahassee, not quite in there, but just enough. Also, Naples and Miami is going to be in that marginal risk tomorrow as well. Then Saturday, no one's going to be under a marginal risk, but we will actually, except for Miami and southern Dade County. However, we will have still a non-severe risk for the eastern part of our region. So make sure that if you're going to be seeing those storms tomorrow, just have an umbrella and a rain jacket. So as that rain's making its way in through Friday tomorrow in Florida, it's going to be going up into the Panhandle, into the southeast, mainly into the Carolinas by Saturday afternoon and into Sunday. And we'll see the heaviest rain will be in the southern part of our state, which is in Miami. And also, we'll also see heavy amounts going into southern Georgia and also working its way into the mid-Atlantic, specifically New Jersey, New York, which we'll get to that later in this program. So tonight, we're going to be mainly getting no lower than 49 in Nashville. It'll be raining across the majority of our states. So if you're planning to go out tonight, just make sure to have an umbrella or rain jacket. And tomorrow is going to be the big rainmaker. So everyone's going to be getting rain, whether it be big or little. So make sure to just have a rain jacket and expect some delays if you're going to be traveling tomorrow. So Elizabeth, Nico, what is happening with the weather?
Well, even though it's almost the end of March, shockingly enough, some places are still seeing snow. So we're going to be talking about a snowstorm that had gone through the Great Lakes region in the north part of the country.
Yeah, so it seems like this is going to bring some good amount of snow for the end of the season. Today's actually the first day of astronomical spring.
Oh,
so,
yeah?
We're already going into that springtime conditions, but it seems like we're going to get snow. So a coastal storm will bring more snow to Maine today, and a band of snow will make its way through the northern Rockies to New England by the end of the week.
Yeah, and there is another stripe of 3 to 6 inches of snow is expected to stretch from northern Montana to Michigan and Maine over the next few days, with some places even getting over a foot of snow.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive for this time of year. And you can see here on a map of the northern U.S. snowfall, you can see those northern states stretching from the Rockies over by Montana all the way east towards Maine. You're going to be seeing some large amounts of snow this Sunday.
Oh, yeah, sorry. And this is over the next 4 days. And we do have some active alerts out. We have some winter storm watches and winter weather advisories and warnings as well. So that's just to be aware of the snow and the colder conditions.
And so obviously when there are chilly conditions, it's best to prepare and dress up accordingly. So always make sure to layer up and cover your extremities as best as possible.
Yeah, of course, you do not want to get frostbite. And it's important to know these different types of alerts for winter weather. There is a blizzard warning, a winter storm warning, and a winter weather advisory. And these are all different kinds and amounts of snow that could be in your area.
So yeah, make sure to stay safe out there with these chilly conditions if you are from those northern states. And Josh, are you going to talk more about the winter weather in the national?
Oh yeah, for sure, because there's so much going on, but it's not just the winter weather that we have to worry about. We're also worrying about the storms in the southeast and some rain in California. But as you can see, we're actually seeing quite a drastic variety of temperatures. 23 in Bismarck, we're having 37 over in Boston, down to 77 in Miami, and 75 here in Tallahassee. So as you see, across the country, we're mainly seeing a lot of moisture over eastern Texas and over in the Florida Peninsula. Now, currently, we're going to see this big system of rain working its way into southwestern Louisiana, and that's going to be the big rainmaker for the southeast going into this weekend. But we also have some snow working its way eastward, and that's going to be coming in to provide a lot of snowy conditions going into not only just the Twin Cities, but also working its way potentially into Michigan, and if the system's strong enough, going into New York and New England. Now, as you see, we have quite a bit of moisture, which is going to help to fuel the rain that we'll see this weekend in the southeast. But here, the thing with this is that we're not going to have as much instability to help make any storms really severe, as Nico mentioned earlier. But it's going to be still a rainy weekend nonetheless. However, we wish we had where some areas could use some more rain would be southern New Mexico, mainly Las Cruces and Albuquerque. And I don't know why why the rain's going to the southeast and not them, because they clearly need it, but I don't know. I guess Evan's there, but anyhow, so and unless Evan can get the rain there, we're still going to have conditions. We're still going to have drought-like conditions in New Mexico. So Miami is going to be feeling the rain heavily. Also New York City going in that metropolitan area, but also California is going to get quite a bit of rain as well. So as you see in the southeast, our big rainmaker will be going into Miami, and they'll be feeling it the most, as well as New Orleans, Baton Rouge area is going to feel it. That's Friday. Saturday, it's going to extend eastward, going up the Atlantic coast, going into including Washington, New York, Boston. They're going to feel quite a bit more rain, and Miami's still not going to get any relief, unfortunately. It's California. We'll see quite a bit of rain going towards Crescent City, and also we'll have a good amount of rain going into San Francisco. So I know they're not going to be expecting that, but you will be getting quite a bit. But going on to the convective outlook, we'll see that today we're mainly going to include Houston, Dallas, and these areas. And basically Eastern Texas is going to be under a marginal risk. That risk shifts tomorrow to include Charlotte, Atlanta, Tallahassee. Also, Miami is going to be included in that outlook as well, and also with a slight risk, actually. In fact, that's going to be a little bit more severe. It's going to be 2 out of 5. Now we'll have, for tomorrow, that risk will now shift to Northeast. New York City, Boston is going to be included. DC is going to be included. Those are all highly populated areas. In fact, New York City has one of the busiest airspaces in the country, and that's mainly because we're going to see that rain working its way up as a result of that system that's coming in from the southeast, going up through the Atlantic coast, the Outer Banks, the Carolinas. Everyone's going to be feeling it. And as with snowfall, as you see, it will be shifting eastward. So those winter weather advisories could become warnings. So make sure you pay attention to those. Advisories means that the conditions are right for it, but it may not be as severe a risk. But winter weather warnings mean that those risks, that the conditions are here. You expect these conditions, and be careful and take measures to be safe. So as always, just make sure you stay weather aware, whether it be big or small. Now, as you go back tomorrow, today is going to be Dallas. Dallas is going to be under the main forecast. Tomorrow will be the Gulf and Miami, and then Saturday we'll mainly not have to worry too much except for Miami and then the Outer Banks. And then temperature outlook, it's going to be very nice, although we might get warmer temperatures in Boston coming on. And finally, for tomorrow, rain is going to be the story for Florida, Chicago, and the West Coast. So, Nico, who is our bird of the week?
So I don't know if you guys may guess, but the bird of the week is an owl of some sort, one of the most unique owls here in North America, and that is the burrowing owl. If the monitor does, there we go, these little fellas right here. The burrowing owl is our bird of the week, and they're common mostly throughout most of the United States, mostly in the Great Plains and the western part where there's a lot of open space for them to actually dig out burrows. So cowboys sometimes call these guys howdy birds because they seem to nod in greeting from the entrances of their burrows. They're very curious little birds that come out to check out whoever's like on their property, on their little land. And like most owls in which the female is larger than the male, burrowing owls are pretty much the same size for either sex. And then burrowing owls have been known to nest in piles of PVC pipe and other layers unintentionally provided by humans. Actually, that's a way for some people to transport owls, an owl nest from a place that don't want to another place. So sometimes people lay a big PVC tube on the ground, and owls will nest in there, and then they'll move it to a location where they won't be impacted as much by human traffic and human activities. So an area where owls do live is Albuquerque, New Mexico, and right now it's absolutely beautiful in Albuquerque at 67 degrees and sunny. Just a pretty strong breeze at 14 miles per hour. They're going to be seeing some breezes later this week. And today is actually about average. We're actually seeing temperatures of near 65 degrees right now. Definitely nowhere near the record of 81 and nowhere near the record low of 19. As you can see for most of the region in Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, upper 60s. Really nice, fair conditions for most of the region. And current radar, they're going to be under some nice conditions, just maybe some orographic weather up there in the mountains, might get some mist and rain, maybe some light snowfall. But Albuquerque is going to be seeing beautiful conditions for the next couple days. And for the future radar, again, just maybe some slight cloud covers, something over the mountain, but Albuquerque is going to be looking at some nice weather. Definitely a great time to go bird watching if you guys want to go check out some burrowing owls that live in the region. And for the 4-day forecast, first, it's going to be nice southwest weather. Temperatures don't really go up above 70, and temperatures at night, 40 degrees, 45 degrees on Saturday. It's going to be very windy on Sunday. They see winds up to 30 miles per hour, maybe even higher sometimes out there in the southwest this time of year. And then on Monday, they might have some chances of rain and some cooler weather. So how's it going for lifestyle here in Tallahassee, Elizabeth?
Thankfully, the lifestyle is good right now. If you're looking at our cameras across the Big Bend right now, we're starting to see those clouds start to move in. So unfortunately, no nice sunset for tonight. We'll see hopefully some better sunsets heading into next week when those rain chances start to diminish a little bit. Temperatures right now, we're in the mid to upper 70s, a little bit cooler by the coast, warmer up in southern Georgia. It's 78 is our hot spot in Valdosta right now, and it's 66 down by the coast in Apalachicola. It is pretty dry right now as well. We have our dew points in the mid 40s. We do have some places that are a little bit more humid. It is 51 in Perry, 52 in Monticello right now. So it is fairly nice outside as far as the mugginess goes, and it is fairly nice at the airport as well. No delays at the Tallahassee airport right now. And for the major airports, we do have a high delay amount right now at the Dallas-Fort Worth airport as they are trying to get back undergoing from the severe weather that they had earlier in the evening. So not a nice time to fly in or out of the Dallas airport, but the rest of the major airports look fine right now. For Tallahassee, tomorrow, high of 70. Those thunderstorms will move in, and it'll be slightly breezy southeast wind at 12 miles per hour. So, of course, not a good day to walk your dog. It might be a nice time for you and your dog to have some rest. It'll be raining all morning and, of course, all day. And can you guess what this pollen report's going to say? I bet you could have guessed it. Grass and trees are high right now. Weeds are fine, but that rain should move some of that pollen out of the area, and hopefully it'll be gone for good after that, but who knows. It's lots of oak trees on the FSU campus. It is 76 right now at the FSU Rec Sportsplex right now, but those showers will begin later on as well as into tomorrow. Panama City Beach does not look nice as far as the beach day goes, so it would be a very nice day, of course, to stay inside. And for tonight, if you're heading out on the town, it'll be 66. Might be nice to get out before the late hours when that rain starts to come, but it should be a fairly nice beginning of the night. Josh?
Thanks, Elizabeth. So as we just take one last look at what's happening locally, we take a look at the rest. It's looking very cloudy, although looking not too bad right now. It's 75 degrees with winds coming from the south at 10 miles per hour. So currently across the area, we're seeing temperatures mainly in the mid to upper 70s, basically Tallahassee at 77, hotspot Valdosta at 78. We are cooler at the coast with Apalachicola at 66. Now, currently, we are seeing very dry conditions, so you're probably going to need to bust out that chapstick, or although if you are by the coast, then you'll have to worry about your hair getting a little bit frizzy, but not too frizzy because there's not too much moisture in the air for that at this time. Although, as you see with the winds, they're mainly coming from the south. So as you see, we have Tallahassee at 10 miles per hour, Quincy at 7, and then also Apalachicola at 6 going from the southeast. So as Nico mentioned earlier, we will have smoke be coming up, and that's why we saw some hazy conditions earlier. Now currently, we do have a lot of ground scatter, and we did see some prescribed burns activity over here near Apalachicola, but that has since subsided. Now, as you're seeing, we'll have rain coming in from the south as a result of that low that's coming in with the warm front. And we have plenty of moisture to say, thanks to the low-level jet that's coming in and bringing in moisture straight up from the Gulf that will be fueling our showers that we will be seeing tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon. And we could have some heavy showers, especially tomorrow afternoon, going into the western part of our region. Now, we'll mainly see the rain hit in the afternoon around noon and go until the evening, although we could see some rain coming in as early as 6 a.m. So make sure just to have those umbrellas handy before you go to class tomorrow. Now, if you're going to be driving, I recommend get a head start, get out of Tallahassee by like 9 o'clock if you're driving out, or if you're driving in, just try to be in Tallahassee before noon, because then the rain will really kick up and be heavy, and no one wants to drive in heavy rain. I know I don't. I know everyone here recommends not really driving in heavy rain unless you have to, and even then, just go slow. So, women's basketball versus Alabama. It'll be 77 in Austin, Texas, partly cloudy. They should be not having to worry about that rain that we will be having to deal with today. However, we will have rain that will be coming in tomorrow afternoon, especially in Clemson, South Carolina, and I know we'll take down those Tigers, but let's make sure that the rain doesn't interfere with that anyhow. But as we'll see tonight, we're going to see that it's going to be cloudy for the most part, although we might have some rain in Monticello at 59. We'll mainly be hanging around the upper 50s, low 60s, but very nice night to go outside and hang out with your friends. But tomorrow, I say stay indoors and just enjoy some soup and a nice movie. And also, just enjoy these nicer temperatures as they'll be in the low 70s, upper 60s. But Nico, Elizabeth, what's going on with the rest of the weekend?
Well, hopefully when that rain moves out, we'll be able to enjoy the outside a little bit since it's starting to get warmer outside, which I am excited about.
Yeah, tomorrow on Friday with most of the rain, I'm actually going to be in the weather service, so I'm going to be experiencing some cool stuff and to see how they deal with radar and implementing severe weather alerts and stuff of that sort. But for the rest of the weekend, I'm hoping to go actually to a state park, Bald Point State Park, and with post-frontal conditions, maybe it's going to be pretty nice. I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so too. Yeah, don't really have a lot of plans for this weekend, but I'm going bowling on Saturday, so I'm excited about that, but nothing outside. Well, hopefully I get to go to the beach soon. Make sure to follow us on Twitter. We're at twitter.com/FSU Weather.
And then like us on Facebook at facebook.com/FSU Weather.
And watch us live every night on YouTube at 6 p.m., youtube.com/FSU Weather.
And then you can follow us on Instagram at FSU Weather, and you can send us any cool photos that you see, and we'll post it for you guys.
Yeah, and make sure to also follow us on TikTok at FSU Weather as well. But thank you guys for watching tonight. I'm student meteorologist Elizabeth Temple.
And I'm student meteorologist Nicholas Porcelli. Have a great evening.